Almost every part of it. So when we analyzed those questions, we found the second category was mostly into your leadership and what you think as a leader and those kind of things, your certifications, your areas. Category was into startups, how you personally look at about the startup. And finally, the last category was more related to Mahindra over business. But we will be taking a couple of questions in each of the categories. And in this 45 minutes, we will be really thankful we can share with some of the experiences you have never shared. So, sir, as our students are young, they are just coming out of the college or in next couple of years they will graduate. They feel there is a lot of anxiety what we should do, what we should not do, whether we should go for a job or whether we should get it. But when you get into a field, a lot of different things are required. So do you want to actually talk about or share based on your experience some technology or knowledge, but which are very, very important for this person?
Hey, first of all, I want to thank you and the Ministry of HRD for inviting me. I think it's an enormous compliment that you asked me to take this series off. I'm not sure I deserve the honor you gave. And I want to say hello to whoever is watching. It's an absolute privilege to talk to all of you. My only complaint with Abhay was that I had hoped it would be interactive, where I could in fact engage in a conversation with all of you. Unfortunately, we seem to have some technology constraints, but one day I hope you will enable me to do that as well, where I can learn as well. I look for payback. I'm a businessman. I say if I'm going to spend time, then I want to pick your brains as well. Today is going to be a talk with a very emotional and the speaking, but one day I hope to have more of a conversation, a real conversation with you. But coming back to your question, Abhay, about what they can't teach you. That's an ironic thing to talk to all of you about, because you all are at institutions looking for your time to be well spent over there. But there are things which you cannot pick up at an institution. And one of the famous books was They Don't Teach You at HBS, at Harvard Business School. I went to Harvard Business School, so I should not be disrespectful, but I'm just going to play on the HBS terminology and share with you that using that HS acronym, I'm saying that the things that you have to teach yourself, and if they don't teach HBS, are in fact, first, H, humility. Humility is something that often is inversely proportional to the institution you're in. Sometimes you go to an IIT or to an IIM or HBS, humility becomes a casualty. And my first suggestion to you would be never lose humility. And I don't say this only to sound very virtuous. I want to tell you that in my entire career, the one thing that I've been rewarded by is by trying to be humble and to try to defer to other people's points of view when possible. And I think that has stood me in very good stead. The second one, interestingly, looking at the theme, is brevity. There was an old book called The Argumentative Indian. As Indians, we tend to go complicate matters. When we speak, we often speak too much. And so in that sense, I would say brevity is going to be a virtue you need to cultivate. When you are brief in your communication, when you are brief in terms of your actions, you are biased in favor of simplicity. And I think that sometimes the greatest of all problems is to simplify it. And the final S from HBS is self-awareness, I would say.
L6 पता नहीं। हाँ
फेसबुक में चल रहा है क्या?
हाँ
फेसबुक वाले चल रहा है, फेसबुक वाला चल रहा है, यूट्यूब नीचे वाले
would say that my parents had to. Which I concern so well with these. So when you decided to take another background, you must have seen a lot of things. Actually, this is a lot. Yeah. As you are to me, in newspaper, a lot of who you are, what you want to achieve. For success. Talk about. So, sir, when you saw similar figures in your life, you needed, or how you dealt with those guys. Only one person to do it. Frankly, I say understanding what has worked for me, how to cope with it, is probably one of the most levels rather than, yeah. Nobody is going to teach you. How do I cope with a kind of failure? What do I do as a philosophy or something that I have failed in something? You need to have to understand who you are. The first thing that I do is, I allow myself to feel bad. People always tell you, no, get failure in your stride, you should bounce back. Yes, we will talk about bouncing back. But when you this, the emotions that come with failure, that leads, in my opinion, in bottling up things which then sooner or later are going to emerge. So I allow myself a very, what I call terror and fear. Yeah. How do I actually feel a sense of terror when you are failed? I've let down my parents, I've let down my colleagues, I've let down my peers. All these kinds of feelings come. Don't suppress it. Allow yourself to feel the terror. Allow yourself those fears. Once you've done, the first thing is,
क्या है बस ठीक है, इसको हटा के रिकॉर्डिंग वाले ये कहाँ से हटा डिस्प्ले हटा तो फोकस रिकॉर्ड करके चल कर गया रिकॉर्ड तो चल रहा है, रिकॉर्डिंग हो रही ना, नहीं अपनी हो गया ना, यहाँ से रिकॉर्डिंग कर लो, रिकॉर्डिंग को वो हटाना पड़ेगा, ये कहाँ पे हटाएगा? कहाँ है सलून, कहाँ गया घर?
At that time also you use the same philosophy, or this philosophy had actually come from India? Or at that time you were different?
I was not any Bal yogi who knew how to cope with failure. We all learned this from experience. So I allow ourselves in school, sometimes failure is the most terrifying. As we all know, high school is a terrible feeling, a sense of children are mercilessly on each other. They're not even polite. If somebody fails, they'll tell you, oh, you loser. Children don't have any politeness or etiquette. So high school usually is a terrifying thing. I then went into Harvard Business School. Yeah. Now, was college with some of the brightest people.
YouTube is better. Streaming better on YouTube. YouTube पे there is this MHRD innovation cell channel.
I had no philosophy really. But I went through exactly what I described. What I shared is my own experience. The only good thing when I look at it, I allowed myself to feel better. I allowed myself to feel the fear of self-doubt. Am I capable of surviving with such competition? I went through it again in business. I went through it in Harvard College, so you get deconstructed. What happens is your ego gets deconstructed. And you learn something I talked to you about first in the beginning. So the best thing that happened to me, because I went to college and business school, which are amongst the finest in the world, I came to terms right away with the fact that I was not the smartest person in the world. Which I may have thought, if you graduate first in your high school, you think that. And I went there, I was basically chipped away. My ego was the biggest lesson I carried with me and extended. I had this ability to know that you are not necessarily the smartest person in the world, but you will survive.
So the primary objective of this entire initiative is to look at it. For us and for the youngsters, somebody like Anand Mahindra has been immensely successful, is a real great leader. Who is the great leader for Anand Mahindra? You know, it's interesting, people have always asked this question, and it comes in various forms. Like, who's your role model, who do you admire the most? I had a very interesting set of parents who I didn't mention, I must give them credit. I talked earlier about being rebellious, but it was not really because of them. My father was very thrilled when he was a filmmaker, not a businessman. My mother actually was in the Indian movie industry for a while, so she was also very thrilled. They had a very simple philosophy that we will give you education, after that you're on your own. But my mother used to always tell me, never find one role model. Never, this is the one person I'm going to model your from. Because every person is human. Everybody has flaws. Try and create a kind of jigsaw puzzle, a kind of mosaic of the best people who you think are people you admire, and then put together that and try and find out people who are great leaders. But if you ask me not who was a great leader in my opinion, but what is the quality of great leader, that I can tell you what I believe. And to my mind, very simple, a leader is one who has followers. You know, कौन है?
So we have a very strong scholarship scheme. So people try to started a truck sharing business called Smart Share. Now she got a piece of that area. So he fostered, we not only see, we not only recognize that you must reward entrepreneurship and innovation. If you do that, then I think large companies you will be able to make innovation as one of us.
Another question which comes from schools is that whether university studies are different for a small, when you are a small industry, when you are visualizing medium-scale industry or a large-scale industry. Whether you see a developer, some university studies at this level are transactional, while for more large-scale, the leadership has to be studied in corporate transformation. Do you see any difference for models? You know, the word transactional has become a pejorative word. If you ask me, would you prefer to be a transactional or a transformation leader? Let's face it, 99% of people will not going to say transaction, but the practical level. To my mind, let's change the nomenclature. Because transactional has become pejorative. It sounds like somebody who has an ambition, who doesn't care for a long term, and so on and so forth. Let's call it that you have less people who are transformers, and then people are executives. So some people have to be better, some people are better at not visually change, but they're outstanding leader when it comes to implementation. Once again, it comes back to self-awareness. If you tell yourself, I'm a transformer, you're actually an executive, you're going to be visible aware. Because it's unfair, and you're not going to be able to focus. Because you're constantly going to chase success in a form which is best to fulfill. Self-awareness comes back to that best part. So to my mind, it is not about companies. Every company, perhaps in a smaller company, in a startup, transformation for the leadership is important. Because they have a vision, they have to be able to look at circumstances and disrupt. They have to come up with new ways. A startup will not survive unless it creates and innovates new ways of doing business. That's not transaction. That's not about execution. That's about envisioning over the future. Elon Musk was an entrepreneur, started with a small company. I think both of you were to say it's transaction. Or that you want transaction when he was a small company and now he's a company. No, I think people are either transformers or executives. You need them, whether you're a small company or a large company, you need a mix of these categories and segments of people in these companies in order to do business. So, my original discussion was about startups, right? Talking about education also, we talk about startups. We are getting a lot of questions from students, especially in engineering graduates, who are startups because there's a lot of buzz around that. So, as a leader, as what is your priority or what is your business leader? Whether they should actually go for a job and then go for a startup or whether they should directly jump into it, or looking at these questions sound quite naive, but these are the questions that actually students face. Why they are making decisions in their life at that time?
No, it's a very relevant question, but at the risk of being repetitive, let me once again go back to self-awareness. My first advice is, do you understand what you want out of life? Suppose there's a person feeling enormously pressured because his elder siblings have gone to Bangalore or Silicon Valley and become successful entrepreneurs doing some startup. But if that person knows that, you know what, my mission in life is to teach, that's where I get better. So I hope you're luck, but try and examine what were the activities that gave you the most pleasure. If you spend a weekend going into a slum area and teaching the children there, you say, you know, I have never done as much contentment as I did then. Then you have to ask yourself, perhaps teaching the question, perhaps everything you do, what is it that gave you the greatest pleasure? And you have to be brutally honest. Some people might say, no, I want to be recognition. Somebody might say, I want to know well. There will be, I am not making a judgment on anybody's desire. You just have to know it. Sometimes people who just want to get very rich and say, I want to be able to form this to richest people. That's why they succeed as well. We should not be sympathetic in anything. But they succeed not because they had that goal, because they knew that that's what they wanted. You cannot make somebody who will be happy at teaching and make them work at something. So, go yourself, research for it. You don't have to be an entrepreneur. Starting out with iPhone Flipkart is not the only future in the world. But once you decide you want to be in business, even if you want to be an entrepreneur, you have to judge what is your risk aversion, what is your appetite for risk. And so there are ways in which you can calibrate what you do. If you have a strong appetite for risk, you may take the chance of starting up in the garage of your own living. If you don't have such a strong appetite for risk, but still are open and want to be entrepreneurial or want to be working for yourself, or pursuing your own career, my job as a mentor is to reach out to you and say, come to mentor. We have an ecosystem which will allow you to be an intrapreneur. You will get a much more fortified garage, which already has tools in it, rather than a garage where you will be starting from zero. We will give you a fully equipped garage. We will give you a mentor for the customer. Come with your idea and be an intrapreneur. So I think today you have the whole plan. You can start by saying, no, I don't want to be in business. I want to be a teacher. Or I want to be in non-profit. I yesterday only met the Indian professor of MIT who started AIS, which is today one of the world's largest education forums. And he's a lot of these I understand business, but he decided his life was teaching, he was a teacher, and then it was to be an entrepreneur in a non-profit education college. So like here, once you calibrate where you want to be, you have all these possibilities. Being a non-profit, if you have a risk is high starting your own, it is not coming into an ecosystem like mentors where you can be an entrepreneur, innovate, but with a safety net. So many options, know yourself before you do the work.
Like you said, outside or you want. Sometimes students or youngsters, different view of their life, stress themselves one on one. Initially, the stresses or getting a job or starting a then it's maintaining the position and it's going. And usually it happens that while we are chasing a dream, we end up losing those right times. So because most easiest question in the air, how do you get into those right times? There are many answers to this question that have arisen in the past. One of the more commonly cited ones is that if you love your work, then it is purely balanced. Because you get so much joy out of it that then this becomes the fourth dichotomy as they call it. You choose between work and life. Work then is life, and life is work, and the two blend because you are getting the joy out of your work which enhances your life. Somehow in the 50s, in the Western industrial model of development and of work life or work style, there became this whole idea of we have to get up in the morning, there's 9 to 5, and then at the 5 p.m. the beverages, and go out. That's where my life is. It's unfortunate. It's been completely drilled into us that there is this dichotomy. Happily, two things have evolved. One is that the world is more affluent. Less and less people have to work just to feed themselves, have to take any job that they do. That situation obviously remains, certainly in a developing country like ours, but more and more people are getting options. So you certainly won't have to work only for a living. The other thing that is changing is the atmosphere at work, the kind of ability to tailor-make a working environment for people's desires has tremendously evolved. And the most likely one, of course, is Google. Everyone knows that if you go to a Google workplace, there's flexibility, there's options for recreation, there's exciting campaigns. How that they are all this standard, for people who are designing offices. And I have to say, we have
we are building in all of these elements which allow people to remove this wall background. Our goal is when you develop a new mind, you should be waiting to go. You should not be going saying, my eyes are well when I can come back and do. We want you to jump out of bed and we want to get there. That's our goal. And I think every company in the world is working towards that. So hopefully, about 10, 15 years from now, the question will be remembered. The phrase work-life balance will be extinct. We will say work is life and life is work because they are about getting the best out of myself as a human. They are about maximizing my sort of, you remember the Maslow's law of hierarchy, which is getting to a level of transcendence, to a self-fulfillment. That will be achieved at work. And we will no longer have to ask this question in 3 years.
So there is another very interesting question which has come up from students. Different business model. So, students are keen on knowing what are the future business model. Whether it will be a collaborative ecosystem based or it will be purely competitive based on business model, which you will see in future.
It's going to sound like I'm actually talking about the same answer, but you know, once again, this is the first dichotomy that is waiting to be exposed. There was a wonderful book that somebody a business school professor who had meet some of you here read that. So by pointing that phrase, congratulating to complete they remove that dichotomy. What that title or that phrase actually means is that you cannot compete today unless you have some collaborative elements in your system. It doesn't mean that we have turned into some utopia where we are really a communal, you know, and we are all happy and moving around with our goals and we are all dancing and we are all cooperating, there's no competition. No. The capitalist system, which has proven to be a wealth-creating system, is based on competition. So you will never do away with competition. Competition is the capitalist way. And I use capitalism in the positive sense of ensuring that the best outcomes happen. We saw that in a socialist economy, unfortunately, though the intentions are good, the aspirations and the ideas are good, the system doesn't allow for merit to flourish, it doesn't allow for innovation to flourish, it doesn't allow for productivity to go, and hence the quality of life does not improve. Competition ensures the best use of finite resources. Which is why we get more sophisticated and efficient outcomes. So competition will never go away, neither should we go away. What that phrase means is that competition is becoming so intense that you will have to find ways in building your differentiated business model. You will not be able to do it in an ivory tower. You will have to do it by cooperating and collaborating with some other elements in the ecosystem. It might be by outsourcing production. It might be by outsourcing manufacturing as well as some parts of your value chain which are not critical. You may have to find a kind of customer base which becomes a bread and butter customer for you, buys into your company, and then you will use that scale. There are million ways in which you can define collaborating to compete. But essentially, you have to figure out what is your ecosystem of what collaboration in order to allow you to differentiate yourself and hence compete better.
So, sir, I think we are towards the end of the session. We are getting a lot of specific questions, but there is one question which I personally want to ask. You actually graduated in films management. You never felt that you want to get into Hollywood, but now please dance on in the
You know, as my romantic song, I was always behind the camera. My degree in bring some creativity into the business endeavors that I appreciate.
It was a fantastic topic to learn. I think our students would have totally learned a lot from what you shared, especially how you have the videos. Because I know 500 questions, 100 questions were around videos. So it was very, very critical that we address those kind of questions. And this is part of our Smart India together. I would like to share, take this opportunity to share with you all that currently we are engaged for Smart India on out to the event on 28th of January. We want students to submit as many activities as possible and complete. So who submit activities go on Smart India on the site.gov.in. And sir, we would like to say that to students who follow the IIT channel, web channel, and if you have any
I joined the team at I think I must commend you and the Ministry of Education for this very beautiful documentary. I have to say this, we are doing good. So my hats off to you and to the Ministry for taking on this very, very disruptive method of reaching out to people using the power of digital technology to reach out. And please do watch this MIC channel.
And for us, I'm Twitter at you can follow me on Twitter at So thank you very much for joining us. Next time we will be with some other personality and you will
Thank you, sir, for your support. And as far as e-cell is concerned, there is a smart hackathon which is floated by IIT and MSRD. So on March sometime in the year. So e-cell, we request the e-cell to take the lead and take it further. So all advertisement and all will be done by you guys, funded by those office on the institute. Okay? So please take it up and go. And there are going to be 25 talks like this series by MSRD and IIT. So let's see. But we'll definitely give a feedback to Ministry saying that it was not good, the audio was extremely poor. And so please take a lead. So from e-cell, if you have to give a 1-minute talk about leading e-cell about innovation incubation to him. So it will be recorded and it will be uploaded. So please try to coordinate. And the rest, thank you very much.